All right, welcome back to the channel. This is just going to be a quick video going through some, I guess, atheist type questions and just trying to explain my deist metaphysics a little bit better. Maybe, maybe not. All right. Now, first of all, the infinite regress problem is a problem for both atheist and theist. Either way, whether you want to say the universe just existed forever or God existed forever and created the universe, you just have this problem where it just keeps going back. Well, then who created God? Or where did the universe come from? Where was the Big Bang, right? And then it's like, where was the Big Bang before the Big Bang before the Big Bang? Where was the God before the God before the God before the God, right? But if you look at the infinite mirror thing, right, it kind of is like a way to explain infinite regress without explaining infinite regress because it's too deep of a philosophical concept, probably for our brain to fit inside or to fit inside our brain, right? Because we can't know everything. And so I think that's part of the reason why people conceptualize a God that can know everything. It's kind of like whatever that guy's demon, where it's like he could, if there was something that could know the position of every single particle in the galaxy, then it could control time and space. It's the same, like scientists believe in the same thing that theists believe in, that it is theoretically possible to know where every single thing is at one time. And then if you could do that, then you could manipulate time and space, right? So it's not like you guys even believe. It's not like it's like me being a libertarian and watching like Democrats and Republicans debate, and I'm like, you guys basically believe the same thing. You're just calling it something else, right? And the infinite regress problem is just a problem because the thing in it itself is the thing that's reflecting, going back and back and back and back and back, and maybe we're in one of the mirrors way back there that's barely getting any light. And the real thing, see, this is my Platonism, it's like the real thing is somewhere emanating the realities that we experience. Now, why is it doing that? I don't know. Is it consciously doing it, or is it just a thing that's doing it? I don't know. I don't have like a personal relationship. That's why I'm a deist. Okay, so there's some other interesting questions that came up, like why is it that all scientists believe in the Big Bang, right, are atheist? Well, it's like, why is it that everybody that knows the most about the Bible, like the Pope and religious studiers, like they all believe in God? So it's kind of like a ridiculous question. It's just they have cognitive bias. It's like their cognitive bias, it precedes them studying those fields, right? You wouldn't study the Big Bang unless you were an atheist. You wouldn't study the Bible unless you were a theist, unless you're trying to disprove the Bible. But then again, it's a cognitive bias because you're already going into it with the preconceived notion that you're going to disprove it, right? Okay, now atheists love to remove evidence, possible evidence, and then make their arguments from that, right? Like they'll say, well, prove God exists through material. Well, it's God is immaterial, right? Well, if you can't prove it through material means, then it doesn't exist. Well, but the argument is that God is immaterial. That is the exact argument, is that God is a thing that can't be proven through material. You're like, well, I guess you can't prove that God exists. Well, it's like, no, actually, the argument itself is that God is immaterial. Oh my gosh. Hope they're okay. But anyway. Okay. And then in the same time, you remove the concept of nothing, right? It's just like a basic metaphysical concept, right? Like the Buddhists believe it's not just Christians, right? It's a basic metaphysical concept, like the yin and yang, right? If you have a thing, you also have nothing. If you have up, you have down. If you have left, you have right. If you have front, you have back. If you have an inside, you have an outside. These things coexist, they create each other. A thing creates a nothing, nothing creates a thing, right? It's infinite regress, just like the mirror, right? Like, and they're co-creating each other. And I guess you could say it's like kind of like a dualism thing, but it also makes a third thing that's neither the nothing or the thing. So you can say it's Trinitarian too, because it's like the nothing and the thing, just like you were saying, the negative and the positive balance out and create all the energy while still making the energy zero while creating all the energy. Infinite regress, just like the mirror, right? It's like it's doing both things at the same time. It's it's a thing and it's not a thing. It's real and it's fake, right? It's like going to the North Pole. You go so north that you go south, right? Okay. So fine tuning is again a a problem of perception, right? Because you have to think like the values themselves are whatever the values are. Each value in and of itself is one value, right? Like for instance, like you can say 9 is 9 individual values, but 9 in and of itself is also one value. It's the value that's in between 10 and 8. And it's a singular thing, but it's also a multitude of things, the one and the many, right? It's a singular thing that's also multiple things at the same time, right? You go, oh, but that can't exist, but it does exist though, because a 9 is a singular. 9 exists singularly in between 10 and 8, but it also represents a multitude of things, right? So the fine tuning problem is just a problem with our size, like our relative size, and how we're measuring things, like however long it takes for the Earth to spin around the sun, we measure as a day. But what is it really? It's just the time that it takes for the Earth to spin around the sun. And since the Earth is slowly drifting away from the sun, actually each day gets slightly longer, right? So, but we still perceive a day as one unit, which is a day. And it never changes for us. And in fact, our biology will probably just change slowly over time so that we perceive it as a day. Like, think about it. We lived on a planet where it took 10 Earth days for that planet to orbit around their star, right? It would still just be one day for them. And they would just experience it as one day, right? So the fine tuning concept is really just a problem of us being the size that we are. And it's really all it is just showing the relative, like, values or whatever of the universe relative to our size. And if we were a different size, we'd be measuring it would be different. Just like the speed of light would be different if we were, let's say if one human was 50,000 light years in size. Like it took 50,000 light years to travel from your toe to your head, right? Then we would measure light speed would be like whatever 50,000 times less fast for us than you see what I'm saying? Like it's relative. Everything's relative, right? Theory of relativity, right? So looking at the fine tuning and saying, oh, well, we got these numbers. Okay. So what does that mean? It's just like saying like a foot. It's like, okay, it's relative to the size of a human foot. But what does that mean in the, like, I guess, the entirety of the size of space? If space is either infinite or you believe that space-time is infinite but not infinite, didn't start but did start, Big Bang keeps happening over and over again. But where's the Big Bang? Where is it happening? Like, no one can explain that, because you see those charts and it's like there's the inside of the Big Bang, but if there's an inside, there has to be an outside, right? If there's nothing, there has to be a thing. If there's a thing, there has to be nothing, right? It's just how it works. You can't get away from it, right? You can't just be like, well, actually, nothing is nothing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Nothing is a thing. Nothing is nothing, but it's still a thing, though. It's the opposite of a thing, the thing, whatever you want to call the universe. And then trying to create metaverses doesn't make sense because literally the word universe means the one true, I guess you could say, one true speech or one true thing, right? Because it's like ver in that sense, a verse means true speech, right? Because it's like the Latin for verify, verity, whatever, right? It means that it's a true thing. And a verse is like a speech, so it's a true speech, right? And uni means one or a unifying thing. So making up the multiverse doesn't solve the problem of infinite regress, because all the universes would still, all of the multiverses that you create would still be contained in one set, and that one set would be the universe, the one thing that everything exists in. So just making up a bunch of verses, they still, all it does is just expand the one thing that's true. Because that's what universe means. It will always contain, like you saying our universe, and then the other multiverses is, you're trying to confuse people, because the word universe itself means the set that contains all other sets, the truth that contains all other truths, and true speech being from the Bible, right? Because, you know, yeah. But anyway, and it obviously translates into Latin. But anyway, so I'm not going to go on too much more on that. But that's what I have to say about it anyway. So thanks for watching. If you did, have a good day and peace.